Good morning from sacred space at Titania's realm. It's a very hot morning. It's already 31 degrees and it was a very, very hot night. I actually had to sleep on my couch in the living room and have air conditioning on me. I put it at 25 degrees, and even then I got still a little bit warmish in the early hours of the morning. Had to bring it back down to 23 degrees. So I'm not sure if it was just a hot night or if I was running a slight temperature, but I was feeling all clammy and cloyed and, just yuck. And it's probably partially the effects of the new medication I'm on, the Mirabegron. But anyway, it is hot. It's hot this morning too, so it's a combination of things. So if I seem a bit batshit crazy, it's because I don't cope when it's excessively hot, especially when I'm starting a new medication. It does something to my brain. I've got the lovely noise of my neighbour assiduously blowing grass everywhere too. And well, he can just kind of fuck off too. But I'm probably just a bit jealous because I want my lawns mowed, but it's so hot the lawnmower man hasn't turned up. And I get it. The other day when I said it was due, it was 37 degrees, and I actually said, don't do it today, you'll die. You will just die. Anyway, I notice he's blown all the grass up right outside the front of my house and shoot me a little frickin' larrikin grin. Australia, mate. Australia. Don't you just love it? But they're actually, apart from their annoying workaholism and car parks out the front of my house with all their cars, they're actually nice enough people. Like, I don't wish them any ill or anything. I just wish they'd move house, quite frankly, but they haven't really done anything to me. It's just been 21 years of minor irritations. So, and I'm sure I irritate some people beyond belief too for my merest existence. So there is that. Anyway, today is the 27th of January. It's a day after Australia Day. And I entitled today's ramblings of even date, Holding My Own No Matter What. And the photo I posted as the title photo says, they said the only way to get over a broken heart is to fall in love again. So I fell in love with myself. Best fucking relationship in my life. Here's another car to add to their car park. Oh geez, they're annoying. I've turned into one of those little old ladies. Busybody. But I'm only like this when I sit at my laptop because I've got the full view of the two streets, right? So I'm like, what's happening? And I get distracted. It's very distracting. Anyway, life goes on, people. We must carry on. So it begins on the 27th of January 2022. I cooked a lovely salmon, rice, carrot, corn and peas dinner for my Beauregard. Then a nice rice and chicken schnitzel dinner for me. I played Abby Sky as she came up on my feed, and I danced just like in the good old days before cuntish cunts decided what was good for me with their control dramas and hysteria, wildly and freely. Then I put on Zombie by the Cranberries and really let it rip. Now back on my couch watching Newton's Cradle, ably cradled and protected by my dog. and the gods. And I'm just going to have to close the windows because it's very hot in here. I had this fantasy that I would sit in fresh air with a breeze through the window, but it's scathing hot, so that's not going to happen, babies. So we'll shut this up. My little air-conditioned prison. Because it's feeling rather uncomfortable, and I've got this very thin sort of organza top on, but because it's so thin and I'm not wearing a bra today, I didn't wear a bra yesterday. I just went, fuck it, let the titties run free. I've had enough of being cloyed and oppressed, and so yeah, I look kind of schlumpy and slovenly, but I've got this little top under and it's thick freaking nylon and it's making me hot too. So not pleasant. I might have to take that off and find a cotton one. I'm going to have to buy some little cotton camisoles because like it's too hot to even wear clothes, people. But I'm a respectable woman underneath all my wildness, so I like to wear clothes. Anyway, it'll feel better in a moment when the aircon kicks in. I only just turned it off. I've only been up for an hour. I had a good sleep. Well, I had a lot of broken sleep, but when I finally slept, I think I got a good 5 hours from about 4 a.m. till 9:16 a.m. this morning. So if I get a good block of deep sleep, I feel reasonably okay the next day. And if I don't, you get videos like you saw yesterday when I'm in breakdown mode from exhaustion, right? But those of you, my true friends that see my videos, know what I'm like and love me anyway. And everyone else that watches it is like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What am I watching? Why is this woman like this? But if you pay attention, you'll find out why I'm like this. And maybe I was always going to be like this. Like, maybe I was born this way from, even from the womb. But we'll never know if we don't go. Anyway, I repeat here again, watching Newton's Cradle, which means I must have really enjoyed it because I was obsessing over it. The heroine, I wasn't really, just mentioned it twice. Calm your farm, Tanya. Calm your farm. The heroine's journey to discovering her power under traumatic circumstances. Powerful. If I said it was powerful, that meant I really liked it because I don't use that word lightly. I have observed that I am being silenced and otherwise marginalised or punished for adhering to truth. Time to go off grid, which I never did do because I like my electricity and my air conditioning too much, and I suppose you could hook it up to a generator. There's ways to survive, people, but I don't have those survival skills, so if things get worse it's going to be ugly. But don't worry, I won't be on video because I won't have the internet by then. Hopefully it doesn't come to that, right? One never knows. One never knows. I've still got to get around to buying myself some life straws so I can at least have drinking water in the event that things really go really, 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 really bad. But they're expensive to buy too. You can get off-brand ones for about $33, but holy fuck, that's... When you're on a pension, you don't have money, that's a lot. So yes, I mustn't obsess about that or I'll have another day where I'm really depressed and almost psychotic. And the universe is an abundant and soul-nourishing and Tanya protecting and validating and loving space, and I am blessed and I am wealthy and I am abundant and I am truly greatly loved by good, kind people who see me and value me. And nurture and guide and protect me and provide me for all my immediate needs has happened. Exhibit A, the air conditioner. And this is how I get through life, begging the universe for the assistance I need. And every now and then the assistance comes almost miraculously. So although I sound like I'm being sarcastic or sardonic, no, it really does happen. But often at the 11th hour, when I've run all my nervous system out of every last shred of synapsing electrical connections, and I'm all frayed and unravelled and a bit fucking cray-cray, it takes, me to completely break down sometimes before the universe goes, all right, give her a hand. It's too much even for us to watch her now being tortured by whatever circumstances at the time are going on. So thank you, universe, but I would like as a preference your interventions to come in a little bit earlier and a little bit more gentler and kinder, so we don't all go into shock or crisis mode. Because fuck that shit, universe. Fuck that shit. I've had enough shockingness and crisis mode and fake lovers and fake friends and fake everything. I just want to be more than just barely okay. Okay? So you watch, there'll be an answer, smart ass answer very, very soon. We'll know if they heard my prayer. Anyway. Oh, that's better. We're starting to get some cool air. That's lovely. Actually schwitzing like a hog. Whew. Oh my goodness. I wonder what the actual maximum is today. I haven't checked the weather report. I'm just looking at what's showing up on my laptop. Anyway, or even my eyes are sweating. You know it's hot when your eyes sweat. Dear goddess. Or your eyelids sweat. One of my people I subscribe to, the Sanity Machine, posted a video of his day, his morning or afternoon or evening, and he was walking along this river, and it was thick snow. Thick snow. That's not pleasant either when it's that bloody cold. But right now, he and I would probably want to swap spaces for a few hours. You can have my heat and melt your snow, and I'll have your snow to soothe my heat. So I used to talk to my friends on Paltalk that were on the opposite sides of the globe. We'd all envy each other's opposite extreme temperatures, right? So the moral of that story is, go within, be at peace with all that is, was, and ever shall be. Be grateful and satisfied for your circumstances, because even though it's very, very fucking hot today, it was hot yesterday, it was hot the day before, it's been hot for months, it's going to be hot for quite a few more months, so handle it, baby. Oh, I need to go swimming. This is it. I haven't had a swim yet all summer. I need to go swimming. That's the moral of that story. Swimming won't make the temperatures any cooler, but it'll just be lovely to have zero gravity a little bit and float around. And now they bring out the lawnmower. Oh, Val. I shut the window so it's not too annoying. 27th of January 2020. I need my fan. It's so hot, even the aircon. I still need my fan. Oh, that's better. Oh, dear goddess. 27th of January 2020. Today marks 75 years since the liberation of Auschwitz. Just one concentration camp amongst dozens that butchered, raped, gassed millions of innocents. Jews, and many other groups of people that were deemed unworthy of life and safety under Hitler's eye. A pervasive madness that is growing again in our current epoch. It has never ended. This desire to slaughter the other. I was othered too many times, on both sides of the spectrum. All these cars have randomly showed up. It's a bit weird. Neighbours must be having a party. It has made for a very fraught and strange existence. But I have, up until this moment, survived with the generosity and never-ending stoicism of close friends who did their best at all times to buoy me up when I hit the gravel pits of disaster and derangement, not always of my own making. With their love, I climbed up again and again. Just having a snoop because this strange man's just arrived in a Lexus four-wheel drive. I'm just wondering who he is. But he's going to my neighbour Timsa, so must be his birthday or something. Must be having a party. Fragile as ever, but just as fierce, Mama T. I have been thinking deeply about the correlation of history repeating of all my broken love affairs that became so toxic and dangerous. Oh, Tanya, it's not good to think about those. I'm almost looking forward to Alzheimer's when I forget all those dirty, malfeasant, lackluster, perverted, evil motherfuckers. But unfortunately, I don't want Alzheimer's. Memory is everything, people. Maintain your memories. Which is what I'm doing via my video logs. I keep thinking about Case's death back on 25th of November 1995 and how deeply traumatised I was by it. After all, I was put in the unique position of sitting with one of my chief abusers, helping him exit this world. Emaciated with bone cancer that began with prostate cancer, but I did my duty by him, only it was not really my duty. To a man who had sexually threatened me up until I was 15, when he threatened to rape me, so I pushed him down our stairs. 15, and already fending off potential rapists and their pernicious malevolence. Joys of being a woman, right? Don't expect that to come from your own household though, just saying. Then at 18, more rape threats from a fellow Jewish student in the executive meetings of the Student Union of the Victoria University of Wellington. Also the filth they graffitied on toilet doors about me. Sad, ghastly, but true. As a segue, I once, not too long ago, walked around and around the statue of Queen Victoria in Queen's Park opposite the casino, thinking rather dryly, you owe me big time. But in truth, she owes me nothing. No one owes anyone anything. We owe ourselves to find courage and meaning and honour in our own beleaguered, unmeritorious, pathetic existences. I almost heard her spirit say, be your own queen of your own destiny and stand in your own light. But I am so ill. I have been so very ill for so long. My destiny eludes me. My true lover man never manifested. My life makes no sense except to capricious, whimsical, sometimes hysterically funny gods. Yet I am holding on to this life, nothing else to do, one day at a time. By the way, I am not suicidal. Prednisone makes me hungry and maudlin, but I have lived with death and darkness longer than most people, so this is not suicidal ideation. This is me doing what I have always done, living in defiance of my own family, former murderous lovers, of the estrangement of daughters, of letting go of various toxic friends, of a life surrounded with apocalyptic cataclysms, political right-wing depravity across the globe, and now the current threat of coronavirus. We are being culled just like in the Holocaust, but this time there are no barbed wire fences or Nazi guards, unless you are a refugee. No, they are culling us with viruses allowed to spread out of control, with poisons in our food and water and air. We thought we had a hope for a better future. We prayed and worked so hard, hoping for it to be true. Well, I'm holding on like a limpet on cragged rising seas of storm-tossed, poisoned, oceanic tsunamis, because life always finds a way. She or he who dares wins. And I am a survivor of an evil family that survived World War II. And so shall I, hopefully, without ever becoming like those monsters. Where's my mouse key? Mouse, behave yourself, mouse. Gosh, so many cars. It's insane. Oh, Val. It's a fine line, a taut tightrope, a freewheeling trapeze act with no safety net, but I will continue to tiptoe through and past the tulip, which was my mother's nickname for my stepfather case, and every other human man that sought to destroy me for the mere fact of my female body. My father's spirit has been hanging around. I know this because I heard the words from No Aphrodisiac by the Whitlams, specifically the words, a letter to you on a cassette, as we don't write anymore. I know why he is around me. He probably knows I'm sick, therefore in a weakened state, so he can taunt me or haunt me. But he is no father. A father that gloated over my many sexual abuses, then finished up by abusing me as an adult woman. Not a father. Just a dirty, depraved scumbag. I cast out that demon. Always have, always will. But they seek to re-enter my life through other living lechers. I almost have to laugh at how absurdist and depraved they all are. No aphrodisiac, like loneliness, but I am not lonely. I have Charlie, Beauregard, Penny and Socks loving me completely. Well, now only Charlie, and I do get a bit lonely sometimes now, but we're doing okay, Charlie and I. We're holding our own in our sacred space garden, and we're living our best life to the best of our abilities. More cars. Holy crap. I have some beautiful friends, a daughter floating out there somewhere as she's working hard to buy herself a house. Good girl. Get yourself the security and stability that I was unable to provide you, after my divorce that is. Then hope like hell it is a safe and happy home, nurtured and protected, and no thieving cuntish arseholes deprive you of that. But I will rejoice for my daughter to have her own home. She deserves that much, as do we all. Another father figure, my father-in-law, wanted that for me. His generosity of heart and spirit is not forgotten. He wanted me to have a home of my own, children, love. On the day he died, he called out Michael's name in anger. I always wondered why. Now I know. The old man had a vision of the future, a future he could not protect me from, nor could the only other father figure, my grandfather Alfred Abraham Phillips, who gifted my mother land to be kept for me in Waiheke Island on a gentleman's handshake because he trusted my mother. Nothing in writing. So I was vilified for stating that Mum had stolen inheritances from me since I was 14 years old. But it was the truth. By the way, land in Waiheke Island, which is now a resort for the uber wealthy, and they have bunkers all over the place, is worth squillions now. So hence my little bit of bitterness, but ultimately, ultimately it wasn't meant to be. In the end, it means nothing. It's only money. What is more important? Living life freely and joyously with people and animals that see you and love you and treat you with honour and integrity. Such is a life worth living. It's going to be a massive party by the looks of it, but I know nobody's actually bringing any food. It is a party, isn't it? Well, they're not wearing black, so it's not a funeral. But so many cars. Here comes another one. My goodness. I hope it's a party. I want to express my gratitude to the gods, my angels, and the few rare and precious birds, my friends who have sustained me, fed me, clothed me, bought me an air conditioner, arriving on Wednesday, a great miracle in that, whom have loved me when I was unlovable and broiling in my own fury, who stood by me while I bled out my grief and horror, who worked tirelessly to keep me alive in my own limitless, psychedelic dreaming, who wish me well, who want me to thrive, to put on my red shoes and dance the blues to my own glorious, beauteous end, smiley face. I salute you. I do. I salute you. Yea, the asbestos contractor is coming tomorrow morning to cut the hole in the wall in preparation for the aircon which is coming on Wednesday. It's all happening from writhing heat exhaustion to my blissfully cool Zen zone. Woohoo! Thank you, my angels, ethereal and human. Kiss, kiss, kiss. I have observed one thing. Since my left ear went out of whack, whackety wackier, El Blinko kaput Scheissenhausen, my sense of smell and taste has been ramped up exponentially. Quite scary, actually. Potato salad tastes like, oh my God, potato salad. The dog food I gave to the dog that did not smell great when I cooked it smelled 1,000 times more intense. It must have been fine though, as Beauregard scoffed it down, and he's been refusing to eat tinned dog food all week. So it's my sense of smell that amped up. Anyway, time to schluff soon. Schluff means sleep. Another healing in the space of 7 months. Fuck it. But here I go again. In the style of a very sick Tanya. Grr, I have been hypomanic all day. 3 hours gnawing Heidi's ears off, then Megan's online, then Lynn. Lynn was so exhausted. I may have broken all my team today. I am now lying on the couch with a clove of garlic still shoved in my left ear. I am meant to be resting after non-stop talking all day and evening, but no, my brain won't switch off. I have to laugh at how, when my body breaks down, my brain goes into complete overdrive. I have to move stuff out of the lounge so the asbestos contractor can get to the wall. Oi, I moved the hat boxes into the spare room at least. 27th of January 2019. My friend and mentor, Rosie Price, whom I met while working, yes, I used to actually work at the QPSA for 1 year, used to remind me every day to be like a sunflower and follow the sun to find joy in my life again. I was very, very traumatized. Not just the foul workplace, but in time, years and decades later, I have turned my face to the shining sunshine of my existence. The sun gave me skin cancer, but it did also bring joy back into my life. Ultimately, I had to open my soul to its own radiance and shine from within. 11:30 a.m. Just woke up. I finally got to sleep around 4 a.m. The problem? I was so highly sensitive that the noise of the fan and the sensation of air blowing over my body was actually irritating my nervous system and keeping me awake. I was ruminating and obsessing too. I would doze for half an hour, then get woken up by the dog or the cats. All night. Drove me nuts. But after turning off the fan, I finally succumbed to exhaustion. Time to get up. What magic can I manifest today? Apart from being alive and all, smiley face. I might take Bobo to Wynnum Beach, but not in the heat of the day. He badly needs a walk, and I badly need the sea. 3:11 a.m. Not much sleep. Where are we? Where are we in this? Not much sleep. Bobo had me up all night with needing to pee and vomiting. Exhausting. I have been in bed since 11 p.m, but only slept in fits and starts. Should have gone dancing, but glad to stay home last night with my dog. Neither of us are coping with the incessant heat. And I'm going to leave this video for a moment. I'm going to keep it running. I'll be back momentarily. Right, my darlings, we continue on with 27th of January 2018. I apologise for that little interruption. The upside is it's nice and cool in the living room now, I discovered when I re-entered the room. So that's good. My goodness. The scathing heat is scarifying to the nerves. Thank you, Julie Goddard, for dropping around the lovely meal. So lovely of you. So this was in 2018. I was very ill that day too. By the gods, I was ill. Lying on the couch in a lot of pain, Crystal pops in to give my car back. She gave me a present that arrived from England, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, and a book called Knitted Fairies that her landlady she boarded with wanted to give me, which started off. She also gave me 4 big passion fruits, some soaps, and 2 tins of baked beans. Anyway, that Knitted Fairy book started off this journey. Lilith and Queen Titania, but I made 23 fairies in all and gave most of them away and haven't sold one, but look, they are beautiful. And I had advice from a lovely lady at the Kilcoy markets who came to my stall late in the evening when I was feeling quite despondent because I'd had so much abuse from the locals there that were anti-fairies, and they're all mad Christians and they think fairies are demonic because they're all fucking idiots, quite frankly. But this lovely Gothic family came that was so loving and sweet and kind and supportive. And God's bless you always for your sweetness towards me, by the way. And the wife said to me, do not sell these fairies for less than $120. They're worth even more than that. So I'm not selling them at the moment, but... I was so touched and gratified by her sweetness towards me that I reached my hand out to her and I said, sweetheart, I said, your advice is far more valuable, to me. And I said, and I really appreciate you. And they were a lovely couple, and earth angels. Every now and then in my walk, the gods send me earth angels, usually when I'm at my most despondent and at my 11th hour, as I said before. We'd had a terrible day that day. It was scathing hot. My friend Jared took a very bad, funny turn because he got heat stroke. I thought he was going to die in front of me, actually. I was quite frightened for a while there. And yes, it was an intense day. And then in the evening, this beautiful, soulful, loving family came, and I'm like, thank Goddess, you're out there. You are out there, my beloved ones, who love me and see me as I am, without viciousness or judgment or dogma or insane prejudice and bigotry that you get from, well, not just that religion, but many of the Abrahamic religions. Just saying. And I'm a Jew, so I know something about that too, how they can be vicious to each other. Hello. Well, I fought it all. I fought all of it. From day one, I fought it all. I've seen it all, I've fought it all, and now I'm old and I'm tired and I just want peace and serenity and a beautiful, loving man by my side, holding me sacred and caring for me as a human being and being romantic and passionate and bloody devoted to me. That was one thing I observed with this lovely couple that literally came to inspire me at the end of that day at the Kilcoy markets. The husband was so in love with his wife. It was beautiful. She just stood there in all dignity, and she would just glance at him, and he would nod and agree with her with what she was saying to me, and just so devoted. Oh, how gorgeous! So there are true loves out there. They do happen, and one day it could happen for me. It really could. She was a gorgeous woman. I didn't even get their names, and they said that I would hear from them again. And I have a feeling she did add me on my Titania's Realm page, but it didn't reveal, it was under an account, so it didn't reveal her own name, and there was no communication, but she's out there, my beautiful little angelic one. Gothic, alternative, but you are my angel. Maybe a dark angel, but still an angel. I don't discriminate amongst the angels unless they're out to do me harm, but no, I don't think she had any malevolence in her. She was an absolute delight and kind and had my back. I think she was fairy, sent from the fairies themselves. I actually looked at my friend Jared when they arrived. They were standing at the front of the, on the thoroughfare, on the street. I looked at Jared, I said, here come our people. I said, they will support us, and they did. It was just delightful. So, I'm curious to know what's going on. All these cars arrive, and then they just as quickly leave. It's not an auction, or it's very odd. Maybe it's a viewing for an auction, a preview or something. I feel like going out and saying, what's going on out here? It's all different cars, people with their phones. So maybe my neighbour's got his house up for sale and they're having a viewing or something. It's odd. Oh well, I'll find out when I walk down the street, when I see the for sale sign, won't I? I have become a little old busybody. I've been isolated in my home too long. The only excitement that happens is when the neighbourhood create anarchy and chaos. Oh dear goddess, you have to laugh. Anyway, where were we? Oh, the fairy, the book of knitted fairies, gifted to me. I asked her to cook me dinner, meaning my daughter Crystal, but she was in a hurry to meet Celia for dinner. She was here for 5 minutes. The Tanya and her cursed existence. Fuck my life. I am a fucking idiot. Seriously, fucked. Oh well, got plenty of books to read and knitting to do, and keep rowing my own boat or driving my own car, which at that time I was lending to her on a regular basis. So here's me finally having the penny drop. She was just fucking using me at that point in time. It was awful. It was really awful. Weirdly, I joined a yarn club on Facebook today to buy wool. Then Crystal brings me the delightful knitted fairy book. My telepathy is off the charts lately. And then follows a conversation which you can read on Focal Media, but I won't repeat here. It's a friend. We're not friends anymore, but she was very sweet to me at the time. And there was a sweetness, but it all just got too obsessive and intense. So, and as I said earlier in my video, I can't stand being smothered or controlled or manipulated or lied to, or, people competing even for a man, which was insane since she had her own partner at home. It's like, fuck off. But at that point in time, credit where it's due, she was very kind to me. So, anyway, we're moving on, baby. I wrote here, pain, not much sleep. Hello, Saturday. Good Shabbos. Another day in paradise. Which is my code for I'm actually living in fucking hell, people. But anyway, hell and paradise are subject to interpretation. Just like the Christians with their weird ideas about fairies, right? It's all open to interpretation. No fairies were killed in the making of this video, but they were knitted and they are delightful, and I take great pride in my artwork. So having a bunch of fucking idiots tell me that they are evil and demonic was extremely insulting, given I made them. I almost became evil and demonic myself with the rage at their absolute ugly ignorance. But moving on, people, moving on. 27th of January 2017. Shabbat Shalom. This little heathen has lit the Shabbat candles and sung Lecha Dodi. Had to Google it as forgot most of the words. I have to think about it too. It's been years since I've been in a synagogue or a temple singing that. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat ha-Kabbalah, and so on. I have forgotten. Lecha Dodi. Anyway, it's a beautiful song. It's welcoming the Sabbath bride. They believe we, I'm still a Jew even though I've strayed a bit. We believe that the Sabbath bride comes down to earth on Friday night in all her radiance and enters each Jewish home and brings peace and light and love. She's actually, the Sabbath bride is the feminine presence of God, the Shekhinah. So it's a beautiful prayer, beautiful hymn, and it's annoyed me that I've forgotten all the words. I can hear it. There's various verses, and then at the end of it, in the last verse, you turn around and face east to Jerusalem. See, I do remember. I did used to be a ritualistic, practicing Jew once upon a time, until the bigotry towards me and ugliness and othering got too much, and I was like, well, fuck it. My God is bigger than all of that, and He is, and He demands to be not forgotten. He's a jealous God, won't let me have a life partner. I don't know why. I mean, you know, the whole thing with Michael Aarons was because of his abuse dynamics. I was a good wife for 10.5 years, put up with a lot of shit. So it's not that I'm not capable of being a good wife or partner to anyone. So you could cut me some slack and send me someone wonderful who loves me for a change. It is what it is. That's God shrugging, not me. Jealous gods. Possessive, jealous gods. It's a worry sometimes. It's a bit of a worry. No Shabbat wine or challah, but a nice little affirmation that I am still feeling Jewish. I had a lovely Straya day. By the way, today is Saturday, so it's the Shabbat too. I had a lovely Straya day. Jenny and Brendan sport me with a barbecue and a swim, then with lamingtons. Then Jenny and I went to dance for taxi ride at the Treasury Casino, then for rush hour. We had a ball but got tired by midnight, so came home. We had a cuppa together, then I got home at 1ish. Thanks, Jenny, for a lovely day. Here she writes, I had an awesome day. I truly enjoyed it. I know I got a little too much sun. No worries, it'll be right. Happy Australia Day, all. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi. Fave part was spending the day with you, Tanya. Second fave part was getting the young'uns revved up when Taxi Ride came on. I laughed, still laughing, probably still laughing till I fall asleep. Mate, no worries, lol, because I'm infamous for G'ing up a crowd. I've always done that. It's part of why I go out. I dance wildly myself, but I get all the crowds stirred up. And she used to join me in that, and we had a ball. We did have a ball. Credit where it's due. It's a shame that friendship floundered, really, but credit where it's due. We had some very lovely times together. I replied, "She'll be right, mate. I discovered in the shower that my back was burnt too. So much for sunscreen. Oi, oi, oi. You were hilarious. Love you, mate." She was funny that night. She was flirting outrageously and doing this sort of shit. And it was just so cute. We looked a lot like each other too, because her mother was English, but her father was Slovenian. So she had the big Slavic looking face too. And she even started dressing like me, we'd both be wearing corsets, and she was really emulating me quite a lot actually, which got a little bit annoying because, I don't mind emulation to a certain degree, but when it was every single weekend. But I guess we could have started a comedy routine like those sisters, what do they call them? With the black hair that always wore black and were all depressive, and it'll come to me. They were so fucking funny. We could have had our own little thing going with our little corsets and Germanic, Slovenian, Polish looks. We could have. I didn't think about that till now. Oh well. We'll behave. 27th of January 2015. I have done all I can. Nothing left to do but let go, let love. Karma will be karma. Nothing to do but wait. This was after I got used again by another awful, lackluster but kind of obsessive lover, the Italian stallion Marco. So I went into a kind of a depression and a grief over that motherfucker. Fauci di minchia. Like, why was I taking that on board? The guy was a psycho from day one, and I kind of knew that. So why was I getting myself so upset? Because no woman likes to be used sexually. It's ghastly. And because of him, he's one of the factors I gave up on sex for many, many, many years. It's only now that I've had this flickering in my meridians where I've thought, oh, it'd be nice to have a sexual partner again who loves me. So I won't be having sex with a man unless he absolutely adores me, because of that motherfucker and the English motherfucker with the dreadlocks. Just saying. Awful they were to me. Absolutely awful. The people who were seen dancing were thought to be insane by the people who couldn't hear the music. Friedrich Nietzsche. And that, you could put that on my gravestone, because I've lived that too. Totally misaligned and underappreciated and misunderstood by my lovers and many of my former friends. Totally dishonoured and disrespected. But I was never the insane one, and that's the irony, right? As I languish on a disability pension, mind you, from my cumulative trauma issues. But I was never insane. So they can all fuck themselves, those evil people that put me down and try to destroy me. So now the lunatics deprive me of my right to drink and dance in an Irish pub out of spite and envy, or what? Did the music in them just die, or did they never really hear it? What are they afraid of? Watching me having a good time? Ha ha ha. Yeah, they were actually. They were that malevolent. 3 a.m. Well. I spent the rest of my night outside the casino, laughing and joking with my homeless friends, who have more dignity and style and respect than half of my so-called mates at the Irish pub, where no one, male or female, had the balls to tell me to my face that I was not welcome and was banned, or even why. I am waiting for written confirmation, but the cowards really mystify me. I have never done anything wrong except dance, have fun, and whoop up the crowd by doing my thing, having a good time and participating with the bands. George the busker and I ended our friendship just before Christmas, when he got paranoid that I was trying to take over his busking business. Please tell me this is not the same situation with the pub, that some paranoid moron thinks that I was trying to steal the limelight from them. If so, I pity them as pathetic. All I ever did was dance, hang out with my alleged friends, who I found out tonight were fake, and have a great time. Yes, I did protect myself from the attempted rapists and lurid stoned degenerates, and yes, if needed, I did protect the other people dancing next to me. Since when is it a crime or inappropriate to say no to some slack-jawed youth trying to shove his tongue down your throat or fickle-fingering you? Seems management is not happy with me for actually having guts, dignity and respect for myself and others. Management thinks women are there to be victimised. We must be good girls and take whatever shit is dealt to us and like it. Well, I don't like how I was made a victim of institutional abuse while the so-called manager. I have been fed rumours as to who it is, and I don't know why he has a problem with me. I've never done anything to him. I don't think we've ever had an actual conversation together either. So why am I being discriminated against, and based on what? Why, when I go to listen to the music and dance, am I asked to leave? And why did the manager not have the balls to tell me himself and let me buy a drink and drink it before asking the very sweet and embarrassed security guard to ask me to leave? He was really upset, that security guard. He said, I don't know why they're asking me to tell you to leave. You haven't done anything. No, mate, I've been dancing here for 2.5 years. I took a break because I was pissed off with, the shenanigans that were going on. I said, but I've only been gone a month. I said, I don't know what's going on here. I really didn't. It was that vicious. Irish Murphy's Brisbane. I've still got a curse on you, by the way. I'm looking forward to the day you eventually go broke. Who has slandered me? To what purpose? Surely the silly little girl that I am told is behind it can't be so pathetic as to hate on an almost 50-year-old woman who is not even a threat as a sexual competitor? I mean, really? I am not interested. I really wasn't. I am not interested in any of the younger men there. Never have been. But my few flames are devastated that I haven't been to the pub. And some do miss me. In fact, 3 of them begged me to come back. Begged me. It was a bit insane, quite frankly, all of it. I came back, but only for my own reasons, which is no one has the right to limit my participation in the Brisbane nightlife scene, as I have not done anything wrong by anyone, except I demanded justice and wrote a formal complaint about harassment by a young security guard there who abused me because I asked for protection on the dance floor. That same security guard, who apparently no longer works there, possibly due to my justified complaint, had the temerity, the chutzpah, to approach several of my women friends from that pub and ask them if they were friends with me, and if so, he had a problem with that. That is actually a criminal offence and called stalking and harassment. Yet the pub enforced his 1 month ban and his verbal and emotional abuse. What are security actually hired for? If a woman who perceives herself to be in danger cannot ask for protection, do I have to fight for my rights to party? It's pure insanity. That 1 month ban ended on 7th of December, which would have been 2014, right? In my opinion, oh no, when was this dated? Sorry, I have to rewind. No, I don't have to rewind. It would have been 2014 because this was in 2015, and all this upset over this complete vilification by an entire dance space where I danced for years was another contributing factor to my depression and months later attempt to suicide. Because it's disgusting how I've been treated. It's really disgusting. And that they got away with it is the penultimate of disgusting. In my opinion, it was not even a valid ban, since it was made by an abusive misogynist who hated that he could not gain power over me, i.e. fuck me, a real sicko. And I know this because he fucked one of my other younger women friends there, and which I could have warned her, don't go there, girlfriend, but it's not my job to police other people's sexuality. And she later told me he was quite abusive after that event too. I just looked at her and went, I tried to let you kind of know, but it's not my job to be telling you what to do with your genitalia. Like, you made that choice. We all made our choices. I chose to dance in that filthy rape den, and by the gods, I'm still angry about it today, how we women were treated. Complete opposite to how I'm treated in my current dance space, where I'm treated almost like a queen, with great affection and sweetness and kindness, for which I am grateful. And that business will continue. Well, they've thrived for many years before I started dancing there, but they will continue to thrive because I bless them for their kindness towards me. Absolutely. I noticed there on when I was dancing on Thursday night, one of the other musos who regularly has a contract, is contracted to Irish Murphys, of course, that I used to dance for him regularly at that former dance space. He was playing at Brooklyn Standard earlier in the evening, and he came up and he put his glass on the bar and motioned to the bartender and put a coaster on top of his glass to indicate that he was coming back to finish that drink. And he turned and he just gave me this fucking death stare. This is after I'd been supporting his band for many years, by the way. This is how poisoned they all were against me at Irish Murphys, by the way, for standing in my own authority and integrity and courage. So you know what I did? I just stared at him back like this. Because soulless NPC, dead man walking, right? Got nothing to offer the world to treat me like that after all the good things I did to support his band. You ask the other bands. They even thanked me, one of them, the front man from the other band, on Thursday night for my support. You ask the other bands how I support them and have done for 13 years. And if this particular fellow that shot me his death stare had played his cards right and hadn't aligned with an abusive fucking pub, I would have still been supporting his band too after 13 years. His band's very good. I don't have a problem with him personally or his band. He wasn't the source of the problem, or was he? Was he the jealous entity that was frightened that I was taking attention off him? No, I think that was a female. You get these fucking borderline inadequate fucking females that see me dancing, having a wonderful time, and that's all I'm doing, and they get jealous. So that was the underlay of all that viciousness that went down. Plus Dave and Sarah, yes, I named it, her of the stinking loins, they were colluding in all of that, by the way. I know, I'm not stupid, so fuck you both. It's all right. They went on to keep stinking up the Brisbane CBD with their shitty, unclean, unwashed genitals and their shitty personalities. And I went on many years later dancing wildly at the casino, where I held my ground there too, and I had many wonderful times until they turned into a cesspit of viciousness on the 5th of August, just after my dog died, and I moved on. And I will continuously do that. When things get toxic and vicious for no apparent reason that I can make any sense of, I'll keep moving on. And verily, many times I've thought I should get out of the city. It's never been a positive space for me, really. There's always been someone with a fucking axe in my back and a knife in my chest, front and back, stabbing me because of what? They're pathetic and inadequate and weak, don't know how to have a good time, don't really love music. If they're spending all that time destroying people's careers and destroying people who are contributing to the scene and dancing wildly and geeing up the crowd and bringing more joy to the space, all of us together, working together joyfully as a team. No, you get these idiots that are just so pathetic and jealous and spiteful. Anyway, I have spoken. And the careers that were destroyed were not because of me standing up in my own authority, but because they were speaking to us women like we were filth. So they did it to themselves, babies. So don't come looking at me with your death stare, trying to victim blame me with your bullshit. I know exactly what those men did to themselves, because they're fucking sickos. So, it's all good. I got banned from that filthy pub, Irish Murphy's. And you know what? Hindsight 2020, it was the best fucking thing that happened to me, because it removed me from those scumbags that used to hang out there. When one of those scumbags turned up the first night I went to the Brooklyn Standard to stare at my ass lasciviously, a man who only ever insults and degrades me, what did I do? I backed right up and said, oh, still stalking me after all these years. Darling, he hasn't shown his face back in that club since. Not from the hours of 11 to 2 when he knows I support the hard rock bands on a Friday night. Probably goes at other time frames because he's fucking scared of me, and he should be. troublemaker is what he was. Thought you won't be creating trouble for me when I come here to this club. I've done nothing wrong. I nipped that one right in the bud. So, that night, the first night I went there, ironically, I was dancing. Had Dave's cousin dancing around me all night, probably hoping to intimidate me, but I just rose above it. That man and I have no beef. I've never even had a fucking conversation with him. So it was actually weird that he was dancing around me, and his woman that was with him, Chris, come over here and dance with me, Chris. No, he was obsessively circling around me, and I internally was laughing my ass off because I'm a true natural witch. And when your enemies are dancing around you like that, it's a form of protection, babies. Only he hadn't worked it out consciously yet, but he probably has by now if he's watching my videos with his fucking lackluster dead shit cousin. Well, you have to laugh. You have to laugh. It's actually quite comical. Anyway, as normal, the Tanya is living her best life, dancing wild and free, and I'll be doing that till the day I die, people. I'll just keep going for as long as I can till my body gives out on me, which eventually it will. After all, I am almost 59. So here I continue writing. As far as I know, there was no other ban, and that was never communicated to me. I mean, if you're going to ban someone, don't you think you should actually make it official and let them know? This is how fucking incongruent and unprofessional and fucking stupid they were. Probably still are after all these years too. In fact, I still have nothing in writing, even though I gave the new security guard my email address. Misunderstandings and mismanagement happen. We are only human, but this is twice now. No direct communication, only via an employee, security guard, and no explanation. Cowardice, much. The irony is, I am meant to be the insane one. Well, something stinks on the corner of George and Elizabeth Street, and it stinks to high heaven. I wonder what their true agenda is and what they have to hide. Curious and curiouser. This is all because a glass of water for a homeless man was too much, laughing my ass off. A pox on that place, the vortex of evil. We rise and shine and fight another day, and meanwhile, we dance. I popped into the pub. They served me a drink. After I finished my drink, the security guard politely asked me to step outside. I said, for what reason? He said he saw I had done nothing wrong, but management says I have been banned. I said, for what reason? I said, I want written proof that I have been banned. I want reasons. Oh, you know what they did eventually, after me complaining like this vociferously, they did eventually flick me an email and said it was because I didn't get on with various personalities or something. Have you ever heard anything more kindergarten in your life? I didn't get along with various personalities, so I was banned. How old are they? 3 years old? Scrabbling in their own shit in the daycare centre? Yes, they really were, and probably still are, by the way. To ban me for asking for protection last November for 1 month was unjust. The ban is no longer in force, so what was I banned for now? I told him I had advice that banning me for no reason constitutes a deprivation of my liberty, so it is illegal, immoral and irresponsible of management, or one of the managers. I said I can hold my head high as I have done no wrong, and banning me because someone dislikes me is insane. Tomorrow I will seek legal advice. And in the end I didn't bother. You know why I didn't bother? I fucking hate lawyers, and they've always sold me down the river too, after raping me financially, by the way. So I didn't bother. So they got away with it. But they didn't really get away with it, because I'm still banging on that drum. I'll never, ever let it go until that place goes broke. And I'll bring all my women friends that were sexually assaulted in that space, and we will dance out the front and sing RESPECT. And I know that's funny and absurdist and ridiculous, but it could happen one day. It could happen one day. 27th of January 2014. I had an awesome Australia Day last night. I danced, I whirled like a dervish. It's like being in a centrifuge. You float like an upscaling butterfly and flick off the less than determined punters. Which you had to do, or they were trying to put fingers up your ass or in your vajayjay. You literally had to flick them off like a centrifuge, without a word of a lie, even though my ears itchy. Without a word of a lie. That's how bad it was in Irish Murphys. I had a fantastic time, and I was as high as a kite mood-wise. I think I am just so happy that my chickie babe is alive still, and I finally managed to pull her through. Lady Death and I have been eyeballing for some time now. She pushed, I pushed back. She breathed down the back of my neck, I spat in her eye. She parried, I trusted in the life force of a very determined bird, my hen Tabitha. I am living like a celebratory hag, Los Dios del Muertos, dancing in the face of fear, pain, grief, and boy, do my feet bloody hurt, and my Achilles heels. This from wearing sensible flat shoes. Jared, who laughs at my weird fetish for wearing crippling high shoes or boots, then complaining about being crippled. So I wear flat shoes and I was just as crippled as if I'd worn the high ones. Go figure. Anyway, my feet really hurt coming home in the early hours of Friday morning too, and I wore my flat, beautiful bohemian sandals. They were burning for hours afterwards. So it's true, flat shoes or high shoes makes no difference. My feet scream at me after hours of dancing. I had a great time dancing with Burst's awesome music. So now you know who I'm referring to, Woody. I really liked you, Woody. I'm really disappointed in you. Even though after all these years we haven't spoken, I really liked you and trusted you, by the way. But yours wasn't the band that was filthier, Irish Murphys. So my gripe was never with your band. In fact, I was quite fond of Soul too. In fact, dickhead Dave accused me of having an affair with Soul, which was insane. And Soul was a lovely man who's married and was actually only ever sweet to me. So, give me a death stare. Do you think I'm bothered? My conscience is clear, boys. I'll repeat, I had a great time dancing with Burst's awesome music and my favourite girls. I had a lot of attention from lots of way too young men. I don't know what that's about, I really don't. There seemed to be a younger crowd than usual out last night, but it was a great night regardless. At the end of the night, I had driven Creature, which you now know because I let her name slip out before, so let's be real here, Sarah, home. I did a lot for that woman, a lot, driving her like a fucking chauffeur, looking after her when she was blind for 5 days. Fuck me. What a fucking idiot I was. But anyway, moving on. And the sun was coming up, and I was just amazed at how great I felt in spite of the fact that I can't seem to find anyone suitable to partner up with. And later I found out that was because of her viciousness and sabotage, worm-tonguing in their ears. I hope she licked their ears out good and proper and they got a good wax clean, the filthy bitch. But that's okay, because that's on you, Dave, for being so easily turned by a vicious, borderline piece of shit sociopath. Like cures, like baby, and you deserved each other, so you can both rot in the shit of your own making, baby boy. And I don't think he's, settled down with her or anything, and that's not the source of my anger, by the way. Couldn't care less. Told him years ago, I don't care who you fuck. You haven't made a commitment to me, you're not my man. Do whatever you like, but don't bring your trash right up in my face every night I'm dancing. Shove them right into my face. I said, they're not my friends. I don't choose them. Who you fuck is your business, but keep them the fuck away from me. That's how degrading that man is and was. Utterly had no couth or style. You'd think being an Englishman he would have been raised with a little bit of couth, but no couth, none. I can't respect these people. My stomach is churning just thinking about it, how filthy they were. But this is what happens when I dance in the casino and filthy rape den pubs. I attracted parasites to me of the worst kind. It took me years to slough them off, by the way. The best he can do is haunt me at red lights in December, around about the 13th of December, round about Hanukkah time. The man's not even Jewish. It's just bizarre. Why would he haunt me every December? It makes no sense, right? It's probably the night he fucked Sarah and he's riddled with guilt or something, and that's why he hangs around me still. Like, for fuck's sake. I mean, it's comical, but it's not. It's actually weird. But sometimes I sit back and I laugh about it because it's just too ridiculous. It really is. Here I write, I think I will be single for the rest of my life. Back in 2014, that was the plan, right? But it's a good thing, as I love my freedom to come and go as I please, to spend time with my wonderful friends, and to be completely myself with no restrictions imposed upon me by a man. And this is how I know that I'm feeling vulnerable and fearing actual dying, that I actually want a partner so badly in the last couple of years, because for a long time I couldn't care less. I was dancing wildly every weekend, rejoicing in my freedom. And suddenly it shifted to, oh my goddess, I'd love to have a man in my bed, cuddling up to me, making love with me, passionately and beautifully and tenderly and sweetly. and someone to sit on a couch and talk with and cook meals together and share the workload, people. Not have one doing all the fucking work. I'm not like that. I'm a decent woman, she says, dreaming the impossible dream. You have to laugh. But anyway, I'm sure that that's what that's about. Because I'm actually function better on my own, and I'm safer on my own, by and large, apart from the occasional creep that you might meet on the night out that wants to get fresh with you. By and large, I'm safer. So, anyway, it was prophesied that I would find my truest, deepest lover man for a committed, long-term, enduring partnership by the time I'm 60, and unless that was a lie and a delusion fed to me by some trickster god or some mischievous fairy or elemental, unless that was just a lie to keep me anchored and grounded to planet Earth, because in those days, 30 years ago, I was quite ready to die too after all the immense abuse I had been tortured with back then. So this lie, this fairy story that one day your king will come to you, queen, and you'll be a united, devoted, loving couple, and if you'll have happiness and success and joy and peace in your world. It's a fairy story, but it's one I've held on to for 30 years. Loyalty even to a fantasy that may never manifest. But my spirit knows. I've seen the flickerings of romantic overtures shown to me in recent months, by my friends in their bands, the sweetness they've shown to me. Because they know I've gone through hell and high water. I even went through the current COVID paradigm alone. They know I contribute joyfully to the dance scene and the music scene here in Brisbane. And they know my love is real, by the way. If you're my friend, a true friend, a trusting friend that I can trust in, you're a friend for the long term. Ask my true friends how long they've been in my life and how valued they are by me. I'm not a false, superficial, fake, shallow person. Which is ironic, since I move in quite often a superficial world. The dance scene, people coming and going, trashing up my life like they did at Irish Murphys. That was a superficial, ugly scene there. But that was back in 2013, 14 and 15 when I finally got burned. So removed myself, not by choice, by the way. There were people, women there that actually needed me there. And individually they came and told me that in the ensuing months, that they wished I could have stayed because they needed me. It was very kind and very sweet. So I told them to get over themselves, and if they want to hang out with me, they know where I was, at the Livewire bar across the road instead. So I didn't remove myself very far, babies. If you wanted to dance with me, you knew where to find me. And so they did. Thank you all for your prayers, love and support for my hen Tabitha. She's only a chook, but she is one hell of a fighter and a lover of life and an inspiration to never, ever give up. I don't know why I've got indigestion since I haven't eaten anything yet today. It's nuts, people. But indigestion's kind of a side effect of the new drug I'm on too. So it's probably that. So I'm fighting to stay alive on planet Earth so I can have my king come to be. Come with me, his queen, and love me completely and loyally and faithfully and honourably and intensely, but not so intense that he smothers me, because then I'll act out and want to run away, and I don't want to ruin a beautiful thing. I don't. But it won't be me that ruins it if there's smothering and being jealous and possessive and fucking weird. So there is that. Tabitha's a reminder that love prevails, that prayers and healing are sometimes answered, and that you can rise and shine from even a deathly experience. Jesus. Thanks to God. Sorry, I've accidentally flicked something off. Here we go. Let's go scroll back. Thanks to God who gave her a second chance and let me not feel like such an asshole having watched Bella, Zulu, Hecate, betters and goldfish die in recent months. I can't bear to lose another one. So I'm very grateful and relieved, and life really does go on and is beautiful. Tabitha knows best. And my goldfish that had been suffering from terrible cancerous tumours for years, he'd lived like that for about 4 or 5 years, and intermittently I think I should cull him and put him out of his misery. And then when it would come to it, I'd think, I can't do it, because he'd be swimming so joyfully, he was still eating, he was still chasing the girl fishes around the pond, and he had literally had a massive fucking hole at the back of his head. Anyway, with the last heat wave we had, he finally succumbed to his cancers and died. And I was both relieved for him to be out of that. I don't know if they feel that much pain, but it looked awful. I didn't want to kill him because of cosmetic reasons, right? That was the other thing. I thought he's so healthy in every other aspect. I didn't want to kill him. Anyway, he finally died of natural causes from the cancer and the heat, and I buried him in my big rectangular pot which I usually grow tulips or hyacinths in each spring, and so he's fertiliser for that now. Recycle babies. But he was a beautiful fish, and I was upset about it. It's like he'd hung on against all odds, like my little Tabitha had done, and like I myself do. So to his powerful spirit and his life force and desire to live no matter what, life is mysterious and magical and astonishingly beautiful at times. Even my life, which is, let's face it, been beset by so much cumulative trauma, I don't even know how I'm still alive. 27th of January 2010. I enjoyed today, went to Cleveland Point to see off Crystal on her camping trip, visited my darling Lynn and Courtney. Jesus. Well, we broke up around about September that year. Well, no, would have been earlier, because I didn't get confirmation that we'd broken up till September, so it would have been July. I mean, he was too stoned to even tell me he'd moved on, right? The cunt. I had a lovely swim at her place. Then I picked up my Bella Rosa from the groomers. She looks delightful. Downside was I got sunburnt on my driver's arm. Little red lobster. So anyway, that's today's readings. I feel drained and exhausted, but all those band-aids ripped open, which by the way, that band-aid was already ripped open on Thursday night when Woody just gave me this horrible blank death stare. I was like, oh yeah, thanks mate, happy fucking Australia Day, and thanks for the appreciation of me supporting your music all the years. But ultimately, doesn't matter now, does it? Life goes on. My true friends know and recognise my love and my spirit and will stand by me, and the rest of them can just slough off. Slough the fuck off. But anyway, on a happy note, it's a beautiful day today. The winds come up. I might take my little Charlie for a little walk later. Might actually make myself do the whole 10-minute walk around the neighbourhood. But I'll wait till it cools down, because I struggled the other day. I only made it down the end of the street and back because I stopped to see my little friend, well, my big friend, my friend Rosie the Labrador, who was so ecstatic to see me. So you see, if I don't have humans that love on me, care about me, rejoice in my spirit, I have dogs. I have dog friends still. Beauregard might be in Valhalla, but I still have my little doggy friends in the neighbourhood that fill me with joy and delight. So nothing is lost. Love is eternal, and love is the law, babies. Remember that when I get angry with you from time to time. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down, babies. And on that note, have a beautiful day, afternoon, evening, night, morning, wherever you are in the space-time continuum. And remember, as always, never let the bastards grind us, you or me, down. Slough them off. Bye for now from sacred space at Titania's realm. To my true beloved ones, you know who you are.